Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're putting our exclusive focus on the true engine room of modern IT, Kubernetes deployment, scaling, and orchestration. If you've been following along with the basics of containerization, you know the foundation, but now it's time for the real action. We're looking directly at Part 5 of the comprehensive guide from Virtualization Options LLC to understand exactly how the experts handle real-world orchestration. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the ultimate dream for any IT pro who has ever struggled with deployment pain points is literally this: ship your first app, scale it automatically, and deploy updates without a single second of downtime. Seriously, it sounds kind of like science fiction, doesn't it? I mean, no more waking up at 3 a.m. on a Sunday for some stressful maintenance window. This is the massive, absolutely game-changing promise of Kubernetes orchestration, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack for you today.
Section 1. Deploying your first app.
Believe it or not, mastering all of that complex orchestration actually starts with just two fundamental actions. Step 1 is pushing your image, and Step 2 is writing your YAML. It's really that straightforward. If you can firmly grasp these two pillars, you are well on your way to taming the Kubernetes environment. So let's look at exactly what these steps require us to do.
And this brilliantly illustrates the very first move you have to make: getting your application into the cluster. The exact command is docker push myrepo/myapp 1.0. See, before Kubernetes can run your app, it actually needs to be able to access it. This command takes the Docker image you've already built, that neat portable package containing all your code, your runtime, your libraries, and pushes it to a central registry. It's kind of like uploading a finished blueprint to a secure shared drive, so the construction crew can actually start building the whole shebang.
Once your image is securely sitting in the registry, we move to Step 2. This involves writing YAML to define what's called the desired state. Now, this is a massive paradigm shift. You aren't writing a traditional script of commands for Kubernetes to execute one by one. Actually, scratch that. It's more like you're writing a YAML file that simply describes what the final results should look like. You're basically telling Kubernetes, hey, I want 3 copies of this application running at all times. Kubernetes takes that YAML file, looks at your current cluster, and handles all the complex background work to make that desired state a reality. It's pretty incredible.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds into the path to mastery. So, pushing an image and writing a basic YAML file is a fantastic start, but to achieve that zero downtime automated scaling we talked about earlier, you need a serious learning roadmap. The structured path we're about to look at comes directly from the experts at Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based technology research, education, and advisory organization, and they have specifically mapped out how IT pros can successfully make the jump from basic container knowledge all the way to production-ready deployments.
Here's the chronological journey they've mapped out for us. Notice how it really builds momentum. You start with Kubernetes basics in weeks 3 and 4. Then you step it up and go deeper in weeks 5 and 6. Finally, you push through to that production-ready status in weeks 7 and 8. It's a highly calculated, step-by-step progression. Let's break down exactly what you'll be conquering in each of these phases, all right?
During the Kubernetes basics phase in weeks 3 and 4, your focus is entirely on the foundational components. You've got to get your hands dirty deploying apps using the kubectl command line tool. But more importantly, this is where you really internalize the core building blocks: pods, deployments, and services. Look, if you don't deeply understand how these 3 pieces interact with one another, the advanced orchestration later on is just going to be confusing. This phase is absolutely crucial. It's all about laying solid concrete before you try building the house on top of it.
Once that concrete is poured, we hit weeks 5 and 6, and this is where things get incredibly interesting. You're moving past simple local setups and handling the actual realities of real clusters. You're going to tackle networking so your services can communicate, and you'll implement persistent storage so your databases actually survive restarts. You'll also learn RBAC, that's role-based access control for security. And crucially, this is the week you finally get to implement that magical auto-scaling that adapts to user demand on the fly. It's a real game changer.
And then, we finally arrive at weeks 7 and 8, production ready. This right here is the summit of the journey. At this stage, you aren't just keeping an app running, you're making it bulletproof. You'll master observability so you have total insight into cluster health. You'll lock things down with advanced security hardening. You'll automate your deployments using GitOps. And you'll learn exactly how to seamlessly navigate managed Kubernetes services. By the end of week 8, you've reached total mastery over the whole orchestration process.
Section 3. Kubernetes Gold Standards.
So after completing that grueling multi-week journey from basics all the way to production, it comes down to industry certifications.
This is the ultimate validation for all your hard work. The first one is the CKA, the Certified Kubernetes Administrator. If you're focusing on the infrastructure side of things, managing the cluster itself, troubleshooting nodes, and ensuring the whole system is healthy and secure, well, this is your primary target.
Running parallel to that is the CKAD, the Certified Kubernetes Application Developer. If your role is focused more on the software side, designing, building, and configuring cloud-native applications to run smoothly inside Kubernetes, this is the track for you. It proves you know exactly how to craft that YAML desired state perfectly.
So, the crucial point is, these are not just your average multiple choice tests, not even close. The CKA and CKAD are universally recognized as the industry gold standards. They are incredibly rigorous, performance-based exams where you have to solve complex problems in a live command line environment, all under a ticking clock. That's exactly why the guide strongly insists you only pursue them after completing the 8-week roadmap. They are the undeniable, real-world proof that you know exactly what you're doing.
We've covered a massive amount of ground today by focusing entirely on the deployment and orchestration secrets in Part 5 of the guide. We saw how it all begins with simply pushing an image and writing a YAML file. We walked through the exact 8-week progression required to master real-world clusters, and we highlighted the gold standard certifications waiting for you at the finish line. You know the steps. You have the roadmap right in front of you. So the only question left is, are you ready for production?